my name is Derek Tenney, and today I will be reviewing the lifx Color 1000 LED bulbs, which are advertised to be able to be controlled via your phone and go to 6 million different colors, which is pretty cool. So let's start off with a little bit of an unboxing of sorts. We can see, this is a nice box. Nothing too much to note here. It kind of outlines the setup. You need to download the app that corresponds with the bulb, and you can screw it into any light socket that would take a regular light bulb, as you can see. Now this bulb is a little bit heavier than a regular light bulb would be, but nothing too crazy. It comes with a little instruction manual. Otherwise, a pretty clean design, pretty sturdy build. Really was a selling point for me was kind of the crossroads between the functionality of the bulbs, the saturation of the color, and then the ease of the setup. So if you go through other smart bulb companies, they might require you to get a hub. And this is kind of an expensive feature. I mean, it makes subsequent bulbs a little bit cheaper, but if you're not looking to get enough to fill the whole house and really, have a dorm or an apartment and you only need like 2, 3, maybe 4, a hub really isn't worth it, in my opinion, cost-wise, at least currently. And Wi-Fi or Bluetooth is definitely the route to go then. One thing to note about the Wi-Fi, though, is you might want to double-check with, if you're going to be in dorms, that your college Wi-Fi supports them. If you're using your own router, everything should work perfectly fine. But if you're going through college Wi-Fi, make sure that they have the ability to set that up. I know at Purdue they do. But you have to, contact the ITAP department or the tech department and work that out. So just a little heads up on that run. Now, if you look at the video playing right now, you can see how much the saturation can influence the color of the room, to the point where people, if I take a picture in the room, think I've put a filter on something. Now, this is playing the music visualizer, which I'll show with music in a little bit, but this is more to demonstrate, I guess, the way that can impact the room and kind of really just change the overall vibe. It takes it from, a drab, everyday room to something kind of exciting, something you can use to entertain people, where people are kind of like, oh, that's cool, what is that? And then when you want to flip it back to normal lights, it can do that as well, with the ability to dim, to get brighter, to turn off via the phone as like a remote. So they really have a lot of functions. They're not limited. If you see here, and here's the music visualizer in action. This is actually a newer function that is an animation of the scenes, which I'll get into the scenes a little bit later. It's a very cool effect. And there it's functioning as a regular light, and you get the saturation. That's the coldest you can get, and that's the warmest you can get. So you've got a range of colors, and you get everything in between. And it's hard to capture in the video and the picture, but it's actually a much warmer color than even it shows in the video. Now again, it's been demonstrated already, the saturation of these bulbs and how beautiful they look. But also, another thing to look for is the functionality and the integration. Now, there's a whole list available on the website of devices you can integrate it with. One of the things I thought was particularly cool is that there's if-then-that integration, which means that this can work with your phone. You can have it so, I know I have mine where when the sun is setting, they'll turn a different color. You can have it where if you get a text message, your light bulb will flash green. If you get an email, you can make it flash red. When your sports team scores on ESPN, it flashes the color of the team. I mean, you can even go as far as to design your own if-then-that statements that can interface with other smart technology. For example, you have a smart doorbell. Then when someone rings the doorbell, your lights can flash a certain color. Anyways, now I'm going to go a little bit into the app functionality. So here's what the app looks like when you're inside the app. And under scenes, you can click on a scene and it'll change the lighting to kind of fit whatever the mood is. And then if you double click, it'll rearrange the lighting into another variation of the scene. And there's like one for Halloween. When it came to Christmas time, there was some for Christmas. And it's kind of a cool, quick way to like get a vibe that you want in the room. If I want to relax, there's a relaxation one. If you don't quite like the arrangement, you click again and there's a new arrangement. So it's something that I use a lot. You can also custom make your own scenes and save them as favorites as well. And then if you pull down the notification screen, this is really cool. You can control the lights and kind of set, favorite scenes up as well. So let's say I want to turn off the lights just from my pull down notification screen. I use this a lot when I'm on the go. I'm about to head out and leave the room. Pull down the notification screen and then hit the big round power button. And boom, all the lights are off. And it's that easy. And that's especially if you have more than two. If you start to have like 3 or 4, this becomes increasingly cool. So with all that being said, here is a picture of the different prices based on the quantity of bulbs you want to get. And I know as like a college student, for me especially, I had to kind of calculate the cost and see, if this would be a good investment. And why I say investment is that these will last 22 years, is based on the average usage of 3 hours a day. But 22 years is quite some time. And these will end up saving energy because they're LEDs, and that ends up saving money on your electric bill. And they're also better for the environment, which are both positives. Plus, there are some features that I didn't even really get to go over. For example, you could have a sunset effect or something that will wake you up in the morning. There's a strobe effect for if you're having a party. There's a candle flicker effect. There's a color cycle flick, which is kind of like a lava lamp. There's spooky, which will flicker the lights to kind of like a haunted feel. And they'll stay red for a moment, which can really freak people out if you don't tell them that you have smart bulbs and you have an incandescent mode. I played that trick on a few people before. And then there's the animation theme, which is new, which flickers through into rearrangements of the different themes. So a lot of different features that make this bulb stand out. Not to mention, the company's really good at updating the app frequently, which is a big positive, and I really appreciate them doing that, which means that there's potentially all sorts of new features on the way. I just wanted to thank lifx again for sending me these 2 bulbs to test out. I really appreciate it. And in the links below, I think I'm going to drop the link to a CNET review that showed the contrast of saturations between some of the leading brands. So lifx, Misfit versus the Philip Hughes. And you can really see how the color saturation for the lifx is the strongest and like the deepest colors. And I'm also drop a link to the website in case you want to buy it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer them. Alright, talk to you guys soon. I'll have some new reviews on the way, so hit the subscribe if you're interested. But thanks for your time.